Hello. Testing microphone 1, 2. Hey everyone. Welcome to our webinar on investigations and collaboration in OpenCTI. In this webinar, Luca and myself will show you how OpenCTI can be used to consult reports, carry out investigations, notify each other of progress, and monitor metrics of our operations. So today we'll be role-playing as threat analysts, working for an organization that shares intelligence with external third parties, like a government agency sharing intelligence.
Sorry to interrupt you, Jermain. Maybe we can wait 1 or 2 minutes to allow latecomer to join us.
Sure. Okay.
I don't know if everyone is connected right now. Okay, so I think we can start now, and latecomer will join on the fly.
Okay. So for those who have just joined the webinar, welcome to our webinar on investigations and collaboration in OpenCTI. My name is Jermain Njemanze. I'm a senior solution engineer at Filigran, and with Luca today, we will be showing you how OpenCTI can be used to consult reports, carry out investigations, notify each other of progress, and monitor metrics of our operations. And Luca, do you want to quickly introduce yourself before we continue?
Yes, sure. So I'm Luca, the customer success manager at Filigran, and I was former CTI analyst in a governmental cert.
Thank you, Luca. So today we're role-playing as threat analysts who are working for an organization that shares intelligence with external third parties, like a government agency that shares intelligence with its constituents, or an MSSP that shares intelligence with its clients, or a corporation that shares intelligence with a threat sharing community, like an ISAC. As a threat analyst team lead, my role is to identify which threats I believe are relevant to our business, our constituents, our clients, our supply chain, our community, and then I assign them to my colleague Luca, who is our investigations specialist. After Luca has finished his investigation and created a new report, he will assign it back to me so that I may share it with the relevant third party. So now we're going to begin the demo. And as you can see on my screen, I start my day by consulting my custom dashboards, which if you follow my mouse in orange, to access the custom dashboards, I click in the top right. And as you can see from my interface, I've built quite a few custom dashboards, some of which are based on threats targeting specific sectors, like this specific dashboard on the finance sector. And each widget that you see here is based on a filter query, which I have designed myself. And as you can see from the filter options, you can get quite granular in terms of both the queries and the perspectives, the visualizations. And for your information, these dashboards can be exported and shared with other OpenCTI users. In fact, I openly invite you to join our OpenCTI community on Slack, where you will find a few dashboards like this one being shared amongst the community. Now, the next dashboard I want to look at is titled Operations Tracking Reports. And the purpose of this dashboard is to give me an overview of our team's operational metrics, basically a summary of the progress our team has made on investigating reports. These widgets here show me the latest reports that have come and that are assigned to me, along with their status, which is very important to my workflow, as you'll see right now. So as a lead analyst, I'm going to open an example report by clicking on it. And I'm going to consult its description. I'm going to consult the contents of the knowledge graph to view the entities referred within and their relationships. So for example, I can see this indicator, which is based on this observable. Now from consulting this report, I can see it's not really relevant to me or to my constituents. So I'm going to go to the Overview tab, and I'm going to update this report by clicking on the red pencil icon in the bottom right. And what I'm going to change is the status. Right now, its status is new, and I'm going to change it from new to no further action. Now, I'm going to pause a little bit here and just explain to you what these different statuses mean and why they're important to my workflow. So new is a default value for every freshly created report, and it's my job to read them and confirm if they need to be further investigated by my colleagues or not. If after reading the report, I find that it is not relevant to us, I change the status to no further action. If, on the other hand, I read the report and I find that it is relevant to us, I will change the status to be investigated. And when I select this status, I will also assign the report to the relevant colleague. In progress means that my colleague, Luca, has seen the report that I assigned to him and is now working on it. To be validated means that Luca has seen the report and has completed it. And when he sets this status, he will then send it back to me. And shared means that, or to be validated means that shared means that I've shared this report with the relevant constituents, and closed means that there's no further action required. And these can all be customized to suit your workflow in your team. And to customize these, I simply navigate on the left-hand side to Settings, which is the gear icon here. Then I go to Taxonomies on the top of the screen. And on the right-hand side, I click on Status Templates. Now, in Status Templates, there's the red plus icon here, which allows me to add more statuses to the list I already have. Alternatively, I can click on the three dots to edit the existing ones. And once I have created all the statuses that I need, I then have to tell OpenCTI for which entity workflows these are relevant. So are these statuses for my reports or for my incident response cases? And to do that, I click on Customization at the top of the screen. I navigate down to the relevant entity, and for this scenario, it's Report. I click on Report, and here you'll see Workflow. And you have the workflow, you have the different statuses which are involved for my reporting workflow: new, no further action, etc. And to modify this, I click on the red icon, pencil icon, and I have all the statuses in the right order that I want. So now going back to my custom dashboard, tracking reports. So that one report, the first report that I dealt with, that's changed its status to be no further action, so I don't see this anymore. Here's another report that I'm looking at, continuing my work. I clicked on it. I'm checking the description, Guard Solutions, Shadow Quasar. I'm looking at the knowledge graph. This one I suspect is more relevant. Yeah, so this one I know is relevant to me because from looking at the knowledge graph, I see the energy sector as a node. And I also see France, the country in which my organization is based. So immediately by seeing energy and France in this specific report, I know it's relevant to my requirements, to my team. So I'm going to click on Overview. I'm going to change the status from new to to be investigated. And I'm going to click on the assignee section and enter my colleague's name, Luca. And once Luca is here, I click that. So now if I close the side tray, you'll see the status has been changed to be investigated, and you see Luca's name appear here, which means that he should now have received this in his interface, and he can now can carry on his investigation. Over to you, Luca.
So as soon as my colleague Jermain assigned the report to me, I will receive a notification. So you can see on the top right corner a small pink bubble. By clicking on it, I will have all the notifications that I received. So notifications are based on trigger. Trigger, it's a small component that you can set up based on filter. I will let Jermain explain it in more detail later, but you have different way to receive notification. In my case, I use user interface. This is why I received this notification. By clicking on it, I can jump directly on my report. I see that the status is to be investigated, so it means that Jermain assigned the report to me for something. I will start to switch the status to in progress to let my colleague know that now you have something that is working on it. And from now, I will start to dig inside the content of the report. So I can read the description. I can have a look inside the knowledge tab that Jermain showed you previously. And I can also check the content tab. The content tab will allow you to visualize the files that are attached to your report. In my case, I have a PDF, so I can directly read it inside this tab and have more deep understanding of the activities. As it's targeting the energy sector and France, I have to investigate it. It means that I can pivot on information that I have inside my platform first. To perform this, I will click on this compass logo button here on the top right corner to start an investigation. So my platform creates an investigation. It's a feature that you have in OpenCTI to visualize your information and pivot on it. You can click on one entity and on the small 4 arrows logo on the bottom right corner to expand an entities. You can also double clicking on it. Expanded entities means that you will add inside your investigation all the objects that you are checking here. Here I'm on the intrusion set, Shadow Quasar. I don't have any relevant information for me, so I will not add something. On Quasar Cipher, I don't have more information too either, so I will start to find information maybe on my indicator. In this indicator, I can see that I have one incident, so I will expand it. Now I have my incident inside my investigation. I will do the same thing on my incident. I have one attack pattern, one country, 2 indicator, and 1 sector. That could be one organization too. That could be interesting for me. So I'm continuing to expanding my node. I can see that my incident is targeting energy and France, as my report was saying. I have one of my constituents that was targeted by this incident and 2 more indicators. So this is something very interesting for me. I will start to read more information directly on my incident. So by clicking on an entity, I have a quick overview on the small panel at the right, but I can also quickly jump on the entity by clicking on this square button with the arrow. So now I'm directly on the incident. I can see a description. It seems to come from an internal observation that my colleague Yasin already processed. If I'm scrolling down, I can see a note that my colleague Yasin led for us. And by going on to the knowledge view, I will see all the information related to my incident. I will start to gather all this information inside a new report. So now I went back to my investigation, and I will add all this information inside the new report by clicking on this Add to a Container button. This functionality will allow you to add all the entities and relationships that you can see inside your investigation in an existing container, or directly create on the fly the new container to put all this information. A container, it's a type of entity that you have in OpenCTI. You have this type of entity. It's cases, the incident response, request for information, and request for takedown. And you have report and grouping. In our case, we will use report one. So I will create a report. You can put a name, a description. You can fill in lots of fields like report type. I can put threat report, put a description. So you can fill in all this information, but you can also fill it later. I will put it, mark it as TLP Ember and create it. Now my platform will work to create my report and add inside my report all the entities. When the job is done, my platform will redirect me on the knowledge view of my new report. So now I'm on my report with all the entities that I had inside my investigation. I think that I pivot on all the interesting data. So I will try to find information with by another way. I will use the share bar. So to do that, I will look for first for my intrusion set. So the first view here will show you all the entities for which you have shadow quasar inside the title, the name, or inside its description. Here you can see all the information that we already saw inside our report. You have here a second view, second share method. So this share method is needs Enterprise Edition. Enterprise Edition, it's a commercial license that allow you to use 6 additional functionality in the platform. I will quickly enable it. If you want to know more about the Enterprise Edition, we can share with you some resources. So now this functionality will allow me to find this shadow quasar string inside all my file. I can quickly show you the administration panel of this file text indexing functionality. So this is all the files that you can index inside your platform. It means that when you will perform share from there, you will look inside all the text that you can have inside the file. You can choose which file do you want to index and start the indexing. So I'm going back to my scenario. I can see here that I have one file. By clicking on it, I will see that it's the file that we already saw inside the report, so nothing new. Now I will quickly check for my malware. So here again, it's still the same entity that we already saw inside the I have to refresh this tab. All the entities that we already saw inside our report. And in the file share tab, I can see a second report second PDF. So again, by clicking on it, I can have a quick overview. It seems to be an incident report concerning this malware, and it took place yesterday and targets the energy sector, as our report was saying. I can again click on this icon at the end of the line to go directly on the incident where this report is attached. I can see that this incident seems to come from one of our partners. We have 3 indicators linked to this incident. It's still big green, so we can share with our constituent if we need. I can go acknowledge and have more information. So 3 more indicators could be useful. So I will add this incident and the indicator inside my new report, the consolidated one, the report that I created with all the result of my investigation. But just before to do that, I will add my malware here to be sure that in the future, if we are looking for information concerning my malware, this incident will be linked to it. Now I can again click on this button, the add in container. Now I will not create a new one. I will select the existing one that I created before. Yes, this one. So if I'm clicking on add now, I will add only the incident inside my report. But by checking this checkbox, I will include all the neighbors. It means that I will include all the entities linked to my incident. So my 3 indicators and my malware. So my platform is in the background working to add this entity inside my report. I can go back to my report that I created here. And if I go acknowledge, I should be able to see, yeah, you can see here my incident that I just found thanks to the file indexing sure. In my opinion, my my investigation is done. So I will quickly draft a small note for my colleague Jermain to be sure that I share with you, I share with him all the information that he need. So I'm putting some information. I can put also the type of the note. Just for your information, all the drop-down menus that you can see, like this one, or when I created the report and I put the threat report in report type, are totally customizable. So as Jermain show you with the status, you can also customize all the drop-down menu like this one. I will create the note, and now, in my opinion, oh, I made a mistake. I have to add this node to my first report. And now I can switch to be validated, and I will add my colleague Jermain on the assignee field, and let my Jermain, floor is yours now.
Thank you, Luca. So what I'm now going to show you is how my OpenCTI notifications are triggered and what they look like when I receive them. Now, in the top right-hand menu of my screen, you'll see that my notification and triggers icon, which is this bell icon here, it has a yellow, orange, red dot next to it. And this little dot means that there are new notifications for me that I have not yet read. So when I click on the icon, I can see in the OpenCTI user interface the notifications that were generated for me. But what happens if I am not logged into my OpenCTI platform? How then can I keep track of these notifications? And how do I tell OpenCTI what is and isn't important to me? I'll show you how by clicking on the Triggers and Digests tab at the top of the screen. Here, I can tell OpenCTI what is of interest to me. I can create as many notifications as I'd like, as many triggers as I'd like. I'll show you the one I've already created right now. So this specific trigger, the way it works is every time there is a new report that's created and assigned to me, I receive a notification on my Microsoft Teams, as well as a notification in my user interface. So OpenCTI does provide webhooks that allow you to integrate with Microsoft Teams amongst many other solutions. And the reason why I choose Microsoft Teams is because I have it installed on my smartphone, which means that even if I leave my desk, OpenCTI can still notify me of what's happening. I can keep track of what's happening even if I'm not in the user interface. And I'll show you how that looks like right now in my Teams interface. So as you can see right now, just 2 minutes ago, I received a new notification from OpenCTI telling me about this report that was assigned to me. So I click on it. It's going to refresh my screen. And here I have the report on my screen. So by scrolling down on this report, I can see the note that Luca has left for me. I read it, I approve its contents. And in fact, if I go to the knowledge tab, I can see all the information that he's compiled. Oh, that's your report. And actually, what's really of interest to me is that from reading this this report, Luca has notified me this is related to an incident observed at constituent 12. And if I scroll up here, this section of the report is very interesting to me, correlated reports. So here I see the new report, which Luca has created based on this old one. And if I click on it, so it's a description that Luca wrote. This report offers a detailed examination of a phishing campaign. And I then click on the knowledge tab and I see all the content, including the incident that Luca pulled together in the investigation just before. Now, I'm happy with all of these, all this research. I agree this should be shared with the relevant constituent. So several things I'm going to do. First off, I'm going to change the status of this report so that Luca knows that I've seen it and approved it. And then I'm going to share it with the constituent 12. So first things first, updating the status of this report. And this right here, status from new to shared. This is one I'm sharing. I'm going to then tell OpenCTI which organization I'm sharing it with. And this is an Enterprise Edition specific feature, meaning that if I do not have Enterprise Edition, I cannot share with an organization. So if you're using Community Edition and you don't see this button, that's normal. Constituent 12, I click on share. And now that I see, now everyone in my organization and my team can see that it's being shared and it's being shared with constituent 12. And actually, this reminds me, this is the new report that Luca sent me. I also have to update the old report, which I had previously assigned to him and which he has sent back to me. This old report has the status to be validated. So I need to validate this, which I have done. I approve it. So now I can change it from to be validated to closed. Because this is not the one I'm sharing. I shared the other one. So now this report, the old report has been closed. The new report has been shared. And I've completed my workflow. So to recap what we accomplished today, today we showed you a classic threat analyst use case, which is very relevant to organizations who wish to improve their threat sharing and investigation operations and workflows. So we demonstrated how to leverage and create custom dashboards, how to customize your OpenCTI status workflow. We showed you how to pivot and investigate an activity and then share your results with third-party organizations. So now we do have a few minutes left to host a brief Q&A session. Any questions you may have, feel free to post them in the LinkedIn chat.
Just before to answer question, maybe I don't know if you have another.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. One last thing I wanted to show you. I did want to show you how this looks in the constituents interface. So I'm going to change my browser window. So this is what I'm now showing you is this is the OpenCTI interface from the constituent 12's point of view. I'm just going to refresh this page. So as you can see from my profile, I am constituent 12. And if I navigate to my analysis page, this is the report which I just shared, well, which Jermain, the analyst, just shared to the constituent 12. And all the contents are here, and everything in the knowledge graph is also here. So no data has been lost. Absolutely everything involved in the report has been shared, the incidents, the indicators, the target sector, etc. So the constituent 12 benefits from everything that's shared once the report is shared. Now, I believe that's definitely the end, right? Except for the Q&A session now.
Yes. So, any question? I will scroll up in the chat. Can I have this dashboard in Slack? Yes, of course, we can share it with you. I will post a message in Slack with the file containing the configuration of the dashboard that you can import after. How does OpenCTI ensure secure sharing of intelligence report? You have different way to share, to manage the, I will share again my screen. So as Jermain showed you, you can share with organization, but all the entities that you have inside will be shared too. So to be sure that you will not have any leak inside concerning your information, in the configuration, the airbag control, you can on a group level. So you have to go in settings, security at the top, and group at the right. Here you are managing the group that you have for your user. And if you go on a group, for example, the constituent group here, you can choose which markings they are allowed to see. It means that if you're sharing a report with lots of information, and inside this information you have some TLP red entities inside, if you are not allowing them to see the TLP red entity, they will not see them. So you can manage the control of the data with the TLP directly, and you can split the share of data by organization as we showed you.
There was also a question in the chat asking us, is the use case based on an MSSP? So yes, but not just MSSPs. Any organization that is involved in sharing threat intelligence with third parties, like your supply chain, your partners, your clients. So it can be, you can be an MSSP, or maybe you're a government agency, or maybe you're an organization that's part of a threat sharing community, like an ISAC, the Financial Services ISAC, or the Multi-State ISAC, or the Health ISAC, or any of these threat sharing initiatives. This workflow is relevant because obviously you want to curate your threat intelligence and refine it internally before then sharing the clean version with the wider community. So it's many, anyone who's interested, any organization who's involved and interested in threat sharing benefits from this workflow and this webinar.
We also have a question concerning processing status disable. So if I go here, for example, in threat actor group, I have this processing status disable. It means that you don't have any status available. You have to go on settings, customization, and as Jermain showed you with reports, you have to go on the entities that you want to use. So in your case, it's task. So you have to go on the task object here, and here add some status. So to show you, if I go on threat actor, here, threat actor group, I will add random status, this one, okay. And now if I'm going back to threat actor, this is not disabled, it's unknown because I have a status but I didn't set any. So I can now choose a status and use it. So if it's disabled, it means that you don't have any status that you can use. Any other question?
If there are no, so did you see one?
No.
So before we end the webinar, I did want to give a big thank you to everyone who joined us today, and I hope you found the content interesting. We will be posting a replay version of this on both our YouTube channel, but also we will have the original version on LinkedIn. I also hope that the video was clearer than the previous webinar that we did on LinkedIn. Please do not hesitate joining our Slack community. As I mentioned at the beginning of the call, we have dashboards available. We also share many best practices, and there are lots of helpful people. Our own engineers are part of the Slack community, and there are lots of helpful peers in your industries, I'm sure, that you'll find there as well. And I believe Camille, our lead marketing, will be sharing the YouTube details as well as links to our Filigran blog for you to consult in your own time.
And just before we stop this webinar, we have a last question. Can a dashboard widget can be configured to show the alerts trigger? I'm not sure what you are saying by alerts trigger. The dashboard can be used to, if you're talking about user activities, you can do it. You have three perspectives. You have entities, knowledge graph, and activity history. This perspective will allow you to have dashboard concerning activities of your user. I don't know if it's your question, but basically you can make a widget on any data that you have inside your platform, your knowledge data or your logs, activity logging. So Jermain, I think we can close this webinar. Thank you everyone to join us during this session, and don't hesitate to join our Slack server.
Thank you everyone. Have a good evening and a good day.
Bye.